All right, boys, we got one game left, and I do have a little bit of injury news on this one. Ooh. So I think we all kind of knew the story when the Ravens picked up Deontay Johnson off waivers that they probably were not going to be able to have all their weapons in the receiving room. And I think that you guys could probably understand where I'm going to be going with this. Zay Flowers, full non-participant in practice today. What have we said on this show all season long? If they ain't practicing by the time we're on here every Friday, odds are 95% they're not going to go. I do not believe we will see Zay Flowers in this game. Maybe we'll see a little Deontay Johnson. Don't know why they would pick him up because he seems like he's an absolute disaster everywhere he goes. But I digress. Ben, let's start with you. Ravens-Bills, closest game of the weekend. Should be the best game out of all of them. What do you got?
Yeah, I think this comes down to who's been more of the big game team, the big game quarterback, and that has to be Josh Allen for me. In the playoffs, it seems like only Kansas City can beat him except for that year that Cincinnati won it all. But it seems like besides the Chiefs, they've just ran through everyone else in the playoffs, and Josh Allen hasn't had much kryptonite in the playoffs other than just the Chiefs. They're playing at home. This is a great spot for Josh Allen to prove that he's MVP. Now he's, I understand it's a regular season award, but up in the odds, yep. Lamar, to me, they're a great team. They're number one rushing offense in the NFL. All that being said, I do just think this is a game where it's going to come down to which quarterback can make less mistakes, make more of those big plays, because we know we're going to probably get a big game from Derrick Henry, but can that be enough? Can just a Derrick Henry game be enough when you're facing the Bills on the road in this spot where they've looked so unstoppable in these big games this season? Like, I understand that they already lost the Ravens once this year, but, just in the playoffs, it's a little bit different atmosphere. It just has a different feeling. They're at home. They were on the road that time. I do think this is a game the Bills kind of get back on them for that game and do win here at home.
I love that out of you. I freaking love that out of you because I am all over the Buffalo Bills in this spot. Guys, they're projecting 13 degrees at kickoff on this game. In the swirling tundra of Buffalo, let me tell you something. That's one place and one temperature. I would not be wanting to play a football game. And I know that probably benefits Derrick Henry. Let's be real here. He's a small Mack truck. When he hits you and it's 5 degrees outside and you're frozen, that's going to hurt. It's going to hurt a lot. But at the end of the day, this Bills team, I really do feel like, is the team of destiny this year. They really feel like a team that really could go all the way. They've overcome a lot all season long. People didn't believe in the defense. They didn't believe in the offensive weapons. They had too many changes going around. The coach is terrible, and they called him a terrorist. A lot went on with this Bills team. They've overcome every single thing to where Josh Allen, to me, has been the best quarterback in the league this year. I know there's the big debate, Josh Allen or Lamar. I think Josh Allen is fantastic. I think he's one of, if not the best right now. And I do think the Bills are going to have an absolutely monster performance. I'm taking the Bills on the money line, and I do see them winning this one by over 3 points. I think the Bills are going to have a statement win here. Before we go to props, I'll kick it to Jammer. Jammer, what do you got?
So I hate to sound like a parrot here, but I'm with you guys on the Bills. Obviously, I have my AFC North bias here, but I'm right there with you. I think Josh Allen's been the best quarterback this season. And last week, what I was worried about the most outside of Derrick Henry was these tight ends for the Baltimore Ravens. They didn't get a lot of action just simply because of the gameplay that happened. But what we saw versus the Steelers last week was these Ravens were in a lot of third and short situations, even if they ever got to third down. So Lamar really didn't have to pass the ball a lot. So if the Bills are able to keep the Ravens from getting these long explosive plays from Derrick Henry and they can force them into these third and longs, I don't trust Lamar to get these conversions. I think that they are built for those third and shorts. Getting to the red zone, using his legs to kind of create plays for the offense. But if they're able to force him into third and longs, like anything longer than 5 yards, I think this Bills defense could shut down the Ravens offense. So, and they do well against tight ends. They're just outside the top 10 in shutting down opposing tight ends. It was tough for me to pick this week which one of these tight ends I'm going to fade, and I think I'm going to go against Mark Andrews. So outside of the Bills money line, another play that I have is Mark Andrews under 38.5 receiving yards. I don't know if we'll see the Ravens run the ball as much as they did last week, but if they stick with that game plan and it's tough to throw in this cold weather, the swirling winds, like you said, in Buffalo, I could see Lamar kind of struggling. And if they can shut down his two weapons, since they're missing Zay Flowers, his top two weapons outside of Derrick Henry are Isaiah Likely and Mark Andrews. I think he might look for the younger, more athletic tight end, and Mark Andrews might be used more for blocking, chipping type deal. So those are the two plays I like.
We're not going to JD because I can already tell by his aura right now what he's going to say. So show is over. Thank you for everybody tuning in. JD, what do you got?
Well, yeah, actually, like Footy just said there, man. Like everybody's talking about the cold, and last time I checked, like the Ravens play in a really cold place.
It's
also
different. It's way different.
Last time I checked, Footy didn't even know what a football was. He still thought that was a soccer ball. So anything he's telling us about the NFL, let me get that out there.
The Buffalo cold is way different than the Baltimore cold. There's frozen tundra, and then it gets pretty cold. And living in Minnesota, I know all about that. It's way different when you get these negative wind chills and stuff. I get it gets cold on the East Coast where Baltimore is and everything too, but it's a little bit different when you get, especially into the games like these where you're going to see negative temperatures, negative wind chills. And I think Buffalo's a little more well-handled to it. In fact, their fan base loves it. They eat it up. There's going to be people jumping on tables outside the game before the game starts. Yeah. It's a little bit different.
Trying my hardest because you're backing up my point here, not to say this, but just so you know, Buffalo is also on the East Coast. JD, what do you got?
It's higher up.
What? JD, please, for the love of God.
well, actually, like I'm like also on the East Coast, but
the East Coast is only. I digress.
Okay, let's get into this game, guys. This is the game of the week by far. We have the two best quarterbacks in the league, and I think both playing at actually their very best. Like, this is a treat. I mean, this is an absolute treat, guys. I mean, this is going to be such a good game. And with saying that, I really think that the run game, that it's going to come down to actually that here. The Bills, we've been seeing them, like I've been so like high on actually the like Bills, and Cook has actually been running very, very well. And then actually that of course opens up like everything else. And like I've been so high on them. And then the Ravens, we all know like about them. I mean actually their like run game is like so good. But then last week you saw an even better version of that run game, though, because they had so many actually like QB runs added in there. And to me, and that was the thing for that game, they didn't even have to actually do that. I mean, like they like had the game won. They didn't even really need to be doing those, but they still were. To me, I really think the difference here is the Ravens actually run D is very good. It's very stout. And I think they are going to be able to actually like slow down them there. And then on the other side, I just don't see how the Bills really slow the Ravens run game down much. And the Ravens are going to be able to use that to then actually just like run clock and just actually try to keep the Bills like off of the field there. So it really actually like as far as like over, like first I was thinking, okay, this is going to be an over game, easy one. But the more I really like looked into it more, I'm like, maybe not. Definitely. But yeah, guys, to me, I've been high on this Bills team. I've been saying it the entire year, but at the end of the day, I've also talked about I've been talking about this actually like Ravens team, and I'm higher on actually them. I've been talking about how they're just going to be getting better and better every single week, and then actually they're going to peak at just the right time, and it's looking like that is what's going to happen here. To me, this is a Ravens play. Give me the money line. This is going to be a big bet.
All right, so we have a little bit of different opinions on this one. We're clucking. I'll cluck the shit out of this game.
I'll cluck it too.
Want it. All right, so Jammer,
Lamar Jackson still has yet to make it out of this.
What is this, Jammer? What are we doing? Does that mean you're in or you're out? What is this?
We're already going on our little victory parade.
Are you
Bills money line?
All right, 3-on-1, JD. We can't wait to see that beautiful clock. And yes, I did just see the comments by Jim Harbaugh. He just did have a press conference, I believe, and he's saying, although Zay Flowers did not practice today, he has a good chance to potentially play in this game. What does that mean to me? He's not playing.
I actually think he is going to be out there, but to maybe just to take some actual like attention away from other people.
Yeah, I don't think I think that him saying that as well is to force them to prepare for him to potentially be playing. It's all mind games in the playoffs.
It's gamesmanship,
It's gamesmanship. Great way to put it. If you're not practicing on Friday of game week, you're not playing on Sunday. Period. If you're not good enough to move on side drills, he's doing zero work. It's not like he's doing limited action. He's doing nothing. He can't participate at all. So to me, he's not going to be able to play. Fellas, do we have any props on this game that we have not gone over? Did anyone have any additional props before we go into the last couple things that we have on this show? And by the way, we've been live for an hour and 15 minutes now. We have almost 2,000 people still here with us. We appreciate every single one of you for tuning into today's show. But does anyone have any other props you want to go over before we do the rest of the show?
Absolutely not.
Say absolutely not.
I've given out so many props today. I've given out like every prop I can think of.
True.
So not
I gave out the Derrick Henry 2 actually plus touchdowns last week, and actually that one hit. Trying to find the same line again here.
I gave you guys a touchdown prop in the Ravens game last week. A couple people have commented it in the chat so far. We did hit that Rashad Bateman. I believe it was a plus 180. I have another touchdown prop in this game we're going to be targeting, and it is going to be another long shot. And you know who it's going to be. Khalil Shakir, another plus 185, same range. He's going to find the end zone. So we'll recap that on Monday when we see a nice Khalil Shakir touchdown in this game. Jess likes Allen rushing yards. So are you speaking just the yards, not any touchdowns like that? What's Allen's yardage total here? Joe likes Justice Hill over 22.5 receiving. I don't mind that. He is good out of the backfield, the receiving. Let's see what Josh Allen's rushing yards is before we go into the new segment that we have on the show and going over best bets. So Josh Allen's rushing prop right now is 45.5. I would not touch it. I think it goes over, but 45.5 is a big number to bet on a quarterback. What do you guys think about that 45.5 number?
Yeah, it's a big number, but in the playoffs, I mean, it's not one that I was thinking about playing. But you know, we've seen him now in the playoffs last few years. Like, so in the first game against Denver, there was a blowout. He didn't really need to run. He still had 46, so he hit it. And then last year, he in both of his playoff games, he had 72 and 74 rushing yards. So if that's any indication, this guy loves to run in the playoffs. And you know, but I actually almost like the touchdown more. It seems like he runs more in the red zone. I don't know what it is, but it always feels like Josh Allen loves to just take off in the red zone. So if anything, I actually might place touchdown over his rushing yards.
I do as well. And then one final prop that's being dropped in by Footy Chancellor, Derrick Henry over 19.5 rushing attempts. I do like that, so I don't mind that play at all. Well, fellas, you know what we do on the show. We have a new segment we're about to dive into. Me and my guy, JD, will break it down for the people out there. So, JD, let's tell everyone about our new sponsor, our new segment, ProfitX, where we will be going over a play of the day every day for ProfitX. And as you guys can see here, ProfitX is the best exchange out there to get the best value on any play. As you guys know, it's me, Jammer, and Ben taking on JD head-to-head in the cluck bet of the universe this week. And you can see the odds here on both sides. I keep trying to zoom in and know that's not going to help everyone, so I apologize. Bear with me. But if you guys can see here, you can get Baltimore on the money line at minus 106, and you can get Buffalo on the money line at plus 104. You're not going to get better odds than this out there. This exchange lets you go up and take the dollars that you can see underneath. JD, I'll let you break down what those dollars underneath each says. It looks like we just had an increase on the Buffalo plus 104. It looks like it just went up 500. What does that mean, and what can we tell the people?
Yeah, it looks like the Buffalo, they have a Buffalo price here at an actual plus 104. It looks like the best line I'm seeing anywhere else is actually a minus 102.
Yep.
So they basically have actually like $1,300 actually like available there. There's the number that you're actually seeing there.
Yep.
So like, but then if you go over to the plus 103 here, you have actually like 9,000 here. Yep. So actually like that's like still good. You know, and then on the Ravens side there, you have an actually like minus 106. The best line I'm seeing anywhere else is looks like a minus 112.
Yep.
So this is a game where actually like we are all on actually like different sides here, and actually like you can still use this game and actually get a better number. Actually, like it doesn't even matter which side.
Absolutely.
So yeah.
Well put, JD. Perfectly said. You guys can see you're going to get the better price on either side by signing up to ProfitX. And how do you sign up for ProfitX? What's the best way to go about it? Boom! Right here. Go to ProfitX, promo code MBM, earn up to 2% back on every play for the first 30 days, up to $300 in profit cash, and it's a new sign-up offer. Enter code MBN. You guys will appreciate that you did. ProfitX is fantastic, and we appreciate them sponsoring this new segment on the show. We'll be covering them every single day.